Ed unendo l'utile al dilettevole, adesso andiamo a fare due passi. Here we are at Precision Tires and Auto in Newport Richey, Florida, picking up our beautiful minivan right there, and of course we came with our pickup truck. Do you remember the property that we recently rehabbed in Citrus County, the rehab of which we thoroughly documented? Well, on Friday, February 16th, we had the first round of showings. New rear tires, oil check, we load up a few tools and the bicycle, and we were ready to go. Actually went pretty well. Out of the 7 showings that Eva set up, organized, actually 6 showed up, which is a pretty good ratio. Normally, we count on half of them, even if they are confirmed. And while she was dealing with the showings, I was busy myself with some yard work, which is something that I really enjoy doing. So this is how the house looks like. Enrica? Ti stai divertendo? No. No, è tutta discesa, dai. Dai, pantani, dai. So after dealing with the showings, we took the opportunity to go for a stroll, to go for a jog. Eva followed me with her bicycle, and in Beverly Hills there are some fun ups and downs, so we had a lot of fun. Depending on who you ask. But anyway, in case you guys don't know, Marco Pantani is one of the greatest Italian cyclists. And just to give you an idea of his successes, in 1998 won Giro d'Italia and Tour de France. Giro d'Italia and Tour de France, the great double, is something, to put it in perspective, is something that Armstrong never even attempted, and is the last athlete who actually won this great double in 1998.
Both climbs of the Col de Croix-de-Fer and the Col du Telegraph. The conditions here on the Galibier are quite atrocious now. We're going up to the highest point of this year's Tour de France, and Pantani isn't going to wait. We're a long way from the top and a long way from the finish here, and nobody's reacted.
And on February 14th, 2024 was the 20th anniversary of Marco Pantani's death, aka Il Pirata, the pirate. But let's keep on talking about real estate. Yes, let's talk some real estate because I haven't finished any book this year yet. I mean, we are at the second half of February. The channel is about being better with books, and I haven't finished any books. But it is not because I'm not reading much. It's because I keep on starting new books. So I should tie up the loose ends and focus. But, as long as I keep on learning new things and stimulate new ideas, it doesn't matter if I read books cover to cover. The point is that I keep on growing, keep on expanding our views, which is why I create this content, and I recommend others to do the same. The book that I started, for example, on February 16th, and I can't recommend it yet, is The Monopoly Game. It's a very old book, but since I'm working on the editing of the chat that I recorded with one of our greatest mentors, Peter Fortunato, looking up some of his previous interviews, he doesn't do many, but you can always find content online. He recommended this book. So as I was editing and as soon as I come across good ideas, I act upon them. So I bought the book and I started it. I had it here for a while now, but I started it. I found it very interesting. I like the content of the old guys, the good fellas, let's say, the stand-up guys, those that were the real deal, people that were actually working and sharing the ideas that they were acting upon in real life. Today's gurus, I find they are more about selling content more than actually applying it, living it. To them is about getting to sell more copies and get you to go to their classes. So I can't relate well enough with most of today's authors because I think they are not as genuine. Today, we live in the era of the information, so everybody is trying to sell something to somebody else. So these guys, I find they were more real, they were more honest, let's say. So the numbers, of course, are outdated. This book was, this is the 4th edition, and it was first printed in 1975, and the last time this copy, I think, is from 1981, so you can't relate to today's prices, but the concepts, the ideas, the suggestions are timeless, because you don't reinvent the hot water, we say in Italian. So I read a few minutes of that. I read a few minutes of The Power of Now. Actually, I started with The Power of Now. I need the knowledge in this book more than ever recently. So I'm reading it for the 3rd time, I think, and once that I'm done with it, I'm gonna start it again. The goal is not to read books cover to cover, but is get help, get support, get the knowledge from them. And these are very important concepts, but unless I make them part of my being, it doesn't matter. So I really have to get to the point where I gain not only the habit, but I can really assimilate that knowledge that I find to be extremely valuable and powerful. So that's why I read it, and I read it, and I read it again and again and again. And pretty soon those disciplines that were so difficult in the beginning will be now part of my philosophy. This is quoting Jim Rohn, of course. Man, did I brainwash myself with all this knowledge through the years. But, I like it. So I read a few minutes of The Power of Now, then I read The Monopoly Game, and then I went back to read The Small and Mighty Real Estate Investor book by Chad Carson. This book has been suggested to me personally by Peter Fortunato in the days that we were setting up the details that we were organizing the chat that I recorded with him, and that I'm in the process of editing. He suggested me, look, I just got this book, I haven't read it yet, but this guy, the author, who's of course a teacher, Chad Carson, is one of the students of John Schaub, and John Schaub is a dear friend of Pete, to which we took several classes off together with Pete. I mean, we've been to Pete's classes where John was the student. I was actually sitting next to him, next to John, of course, and to classes that they taught together, and to John's classes while Pete was the student. So it's awesome. It's a great group, let's say. So Pete suggested me this book, and he convinced me to buy it simply because the author is one of John Schaub's student. I am now at page 180 something. So this morning I started reading chapter 14, and again, Chad Carson has a YouTube channel as well. I only watched a few videos, but hey, should you come across this content, hi Chad. So this is what first of all, let me start by saying that there isn't a book that I regret reading. There are very few books that I regret reading, because it is not about the content, but it's about how we treasure it and how we act upon what we learn that matters the most. So, but yes, I do not agree with the first few lines, with the first part of this chapter. I haven't read it all, the 14th chapter, so I haven't completed the book either, of course, but it starts by saying, how to find good deals. This is the title of chapter 14. And the first thing is that as Peter Fortunato teaches, you don't find good deals. Good deals are created. So let's start with that. So he says, as you've learned in the last 3 chapters, a good real estate deal is a combination of the right location, the right property, and the right numbers. Absolutely. But those are the details of the deal. They're not what creates the deal. So I wrote, wrong. Good deals are based on good people. Everything else are details. I mean, I think about our best deals, those that we created up until today, and it wasn't about the location, the kind of the type of the property. It was about the willingness to help each other from both sides, as the buyers and the sellers. And then, of course, he goes on about talking about motivated sellers. Sure, it's good to help people that are in distress and they don't have a way out. You're touching their lives, helping them out. They are less willing to negotiate and all that. So I'm not saying that is wrong. I'm just saying that there is another angle to it that I believe is more valuable. So mentioning again, quoting again Jim Rohn, it is true that if you help enough people paying their bills, yours disappear. And this is Jim's Rohn quote, revisiting one of Zig Ziglar quote. So let's help people that are in trouble, and by helping them, you can actually negotiate, achieve good deals. Nothing wrong with that. But many times, you don't need to help people who don't have a way out to negotiate the best deals. The best deals that my wife and I had made until today were by working with people that were well off, they owned their properties free and clear, they didn't need to sell, but they were simply willing to work with us. Okay, you might ask, how do you find those people? Absolutely, that's the challenge, but the devil is in the details, they say, right? The devil is in the details. It is not about finding the deal, it's about finding the right people and work out the deal. That's my personal opinion. Then the second part of this paragraph says, so if you buy good deals consistently, you will build wealth and eventually achieve financial independence. But you can't buy good deals unless you find them. Well, again, you don't find good deals. Good deals are not found. They are created. And you can only create good deals with good people. That's our experience. So enough of this for now. But I don't want to leave you before giving you a few more details of how we got in touch with some of these people. As Jim Rohn says, success is not something you pursue, it is something you attract. So become an attractive person. Because first you gotta get in touch with these people, and then you want to be able to make them wanting to work with you. So you do that by relating correctly with them, and it's not about negotiating or outsmarting others. It's just, I think, about making them feel comfortable, that you're honest and that you're willing to get the most out of the situation, helping both sides of the transaction. I always tell anybody I get to do business with that we are two links to the same chain. Either if I'm negotiating with a potential seller, if I am working out the details of lending opportunity with a lender, or even if I'm sitting down with new tenants to sign up the rental contract. So it is all about being honest and relate correctly to the person that we're interacting with according to our experience. The best way, of course, is nothing new, to get in touch with as many people as possible. And of course, it takes a lot of meetings in order to filter out, to funnel. Funnel is a word that everybody uses these days. So to funnel down to a few of the right people to work with. And the only way to get in touch with enough people to find the right ones is to take action. And you can take action in creating leads in any way you feel more comfortable. I think we experienced most of them with door knocked. We went to real estate investors meetings. We sent a bunch of letters to this day. In the very, even the other day while we were jogging through the neighborhood, of course I had the phone on my shoulder and I was taking down addresses. So there is always something to do. There is always a way to take the right kind of action, even while we are doing something else. You can drive for dollars, as they say. You drive around and you take down addresses and you send letters, or you stop and you door knock. And you just stay in touch with people. You follow up with people. You create relationships with people. As Peter always says, Peter Fortunato says, you want to create allies. So, and these allies you attract into your life by taking action and appealing to them by showing them your true colors. And the better person you are, the more you are able to connect with others. And I think that's all it comes down to. So speaking of the law of attraction, let's conclude even today's vlog entry by reading one of Abraham Hicks' cards. And it says, I use the law of creation deliberately. So always about being aware of what we're thinking and conscious of what we want to create. The law of creation has two important parts: the desire of the creation and the allowing of the creation. Whether you're thinking of what you desire or the lack of what you desire, the direction of your thought is your choice. So everything depends on us, of course. The law of creation, which is the law of attraction, goes to work upon whatever you're thinking about. So as always, think good feeling thoughts. Think, imagine, visualize the kind of reality that you wish to materialize, to create, the kind of connections that you want to build into your life. I remember when we were negotiating the acquisition of this very house, we met with the seller, who's today a dear friend, and who we reached out to even recently to potentially work with him on another one of our acquisitions. And by the way, we bought this house, we worked out the details. It took us 3 months and we rewrote the agreement 3 times. But from day one, we asked him, if you're willing to work with us, anything is possible. And he said, I want to work with you guys. So we worked out the details, and he financed us the acquisition of this property through interest-free terms, an interest-free loan. And 2 years after, he sold us another one of his properties, always through an interest-free loan, which is great for us and is great for him. We are part of his retirement plan, as we send him monthly payments every month. One on the 1st of the 5th of each month and one at the 15th of each month, so that he gets paid twice, one for his property, for one of the property with this one, and one for the other one that he sold us. And now we're still in touch, and potentially we'll be working together again, because it's always about being honest, creating real long-time connections and alliances, allies along the way. And so this is it. So you attract these people by improving yourself. So be better with books. I'll see you on the next one. Improve your thinking by reading to improve. Yes, I got carried away because I am doing this spontaneously. I don't have a line to follow, so I got carried away. But what I really wanted to say, the main point in relation to the card that we just read, is that the acquisition of this very property that then led us to the acquisition of the second one from the same seller through very favorable terms because of the trust that he had on us while we were setting up the first acquisition of this property. And I was counting on the support of some of our mentors to set up the paperwork, to make sure that the terms were something we could comfortably afford and potentially make money off of it by renting the second property. And originally, even this one was a rental when we acquired it. Well, even these people, when the seller, because it took us 3 months, kept on tweaking the numbers, they were discouraging me to pursue the deal, to pursue the relationship with this person, because they kept on saying, he's wasting your time, he's just wasting your time, this and that. So the major point is, don't listen to anybody other than yourself. Keep on working on yourself, improve yourself, keep focused, stay focused on your goal, on your dream, on your desire, and wonderful things will manifest in your life until you don't give up. As Peter Fortunato always says, it is plenty of opportunities out there, and if you give up, shame on you. I'll see you on the next one.
This video has been brought to you
by us at
Real Estate Helpful Solutions.
We buy houses, helping people.
To find out more about how we can be of help, text or call us at 727-366-6916 or send us an email at the email address you see in the photo.